kind of how Quake was developed. Have you ever noticed that Quake has different levels that just don't seem to be part of the same game? It does have like a rolling landscape.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Oh, yeah.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Kind of like Half-Life.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Linear boxy corridors. Yep, linear boxy corridors. Oh no! I didn't die. Oh, okay. I just bypassed the stairs. Linear boxy corridors. That's why a lot of the earlier games all looked alike, because they were using the same engine. Hey. Hey now. Uh-huh. It's blocking where it doesn't want me to go.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Oh, that would just be wrong. Broke. And who wants to just sit there for an hour? I complain how long it takes to tame a dinosaur in Ark.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Okay, so you've got the corridor. Playable games. Alright, I see a puzzle coming up. Alright, we got the dot, dot, dot. How's the music? It's super loud in my headphones.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Is it the exact same solution?
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It seems to swell and then get quiet and then swell again. Okay. So basically it's so we're looking at abandoned games. Incomplete. I think it's interesting, but I'm a gamer. Listen, speak, listen.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. You have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Trust me, I don't want to go there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape. There must be an ending. Uh-oh. That it? I don't know what that is. Okay. Oh look, it's another room. Hello. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? You go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved. You can sit in the black space in the middle. Black space in the middle? Oh, okay. Why would I sit in the black space? Oh, it's peaceful. It may not seem that way at first. You'll come to think so. Eventually. Huh.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Is there a floor level? Oh, it's a courtyard.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Really?
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Wasn't there another game that had a lamppost at the end of the game? This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes left by other players. Really? Okay. So this is just a note, huh? Nice room. Not. Really? Can I leave a note? How do I leave a note?
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like,
Whoa.
I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Interesting dialogue. Almost like,
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me, that I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
the ravings of a madman. Free teacher. Read other side. Open sesame. Make games, include doors. Cannot open doors. Thanks. Is this the right way to go? I don't know where to go. We're just walking around anyway. It's an unfinished game. There we go. Could you imagine reading every single one of these? Interesting. Bart. Polka dot. Uh-huh. You like reading? Of course you like reading. That's why this game is so popular.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here, to step back and connect the pieces together, to grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Well, whoever got stuck in here doesn't realize there's no second switch, no solution. What are you talking about? It's right there. They just didn't know how to get through the door. How do you leave notes? I hear typewriters. Alright, it's the infinite monkey room. And the laptop. Are you there? Please say something. Please say something. Speak. Alright, from May to June 2009.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Spin its wheels, huh? Oop, door open. Hey, that looks familiar. Like something from the 1960s. There's our path again.
See, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Uh-huh. Okay. Coffee table. What furniture should go in the center of the room, Grader? Yep, that's a refrigerator. Nice. What goes along the wall? Which reminds me, I do have to fix my washing machine. I think we should light up this room. Skylight. Yeah, Tesla coil. That's not Tesla coil. Well, a table. You need a table. Who are you? Alright. So we provide a little interaction that time.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.